Hi, my God.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How's everything, man? I know it's been a while. I know the last time we talked was in Miami.
Yeah, man. It has been a while. It's just out here trying to grind. How you been?
I'm chilling, man. Just finished school this week, so thankful
Yeah,
for that.
trying to get into the industry. The NBA just broke some news, and if anybody haven't seen, they're postponing the lottery.
That's crazy.
So I'm actually trying to. I'm just posting the web story. If you get in this industry, as soon as the news breaks like that,
Yes,
you
sir.
got to get your email out,
You
post a web
always
story.
working. Always
Say what?
working.
Yeah, yep.
So how's everything with you and your family, the loved ones?
It's good, man. They're in Boston, so I'm out here in Illinois, but I work in Iowa. It's right across the
Mm,
street. It's cool. They're doing well. They haven't been hit by the virus as hard, and I'm just thanking God that everyone's healthy. How about you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm from New York and everything, but I'm still in Hampton, Virginia, because I stay off campus, so just staying out here, staying away. For those
Yeah,
who don't know,
New
Skubie.
York is New York is contaminated too. It's definitely a red area right now.
Definitely. For those who don't know, Scooby works from Iowa, works there for KWQC-TV6 News.
Yep. Thanks for having me, man. I like what you're doing here. You got to start somewhere, and I like where you're starting.
Definitely, man, just trying new things, just trying to stay locked in. But you working at the station or just at home?
Both, honestly. My other co-anchor, he anchors at home strictly.
Hmm.
Um, me, I go into the station to anchor because it's honestly easier.
Yeah.
Since he's decided to work at home, I can go into the office. So on days where I'm anchoring, because I switch days where I anchor, um, I go into the office. On days where I'm not anchoring, I just work from home. I edit my stuff, I shoot my stuff, and send it in.
Yeah, so I know you anchoring and you also do reporting as well, so you do everything basically.
Yep,
How's
exactly.
that like working at home? Like how you adapting and adjusting?
There's been ups and downs. The thing about working from home is, at first for me, it was tough
Hmm.
because you know you're at home and then your friends hit you up. Yo, hop online. Let's play some Call of Duty. Or you sit down like, oh, let me watch one show. And it's easy to get comfortable and lazy at home. You know what I mean? So it's almost making sure that you put yourself into work mode, um, because when you're working from home, you can feel the temptation of waking up, kind of just slowly getting into your day, maybe wearing your PJs the majority of the day. And, it can really slow you down. So what I just started doing is acting as if I am going to work. Sometimes I put pants on in the house and I'm not even going anywhere. But, to have pants on to dress up at times makes me feel as if, I'm in work mode because it's a mental thing.
Hmm.
So just being able to adjust to it mentally and being able to get into work and grind mode, and the place that I'm the most comfortable was the toughest challenge at first.
Definitely. So I know you cover sports, but like with this pandemic going on, are you covering anything else?
Yeah, so my what I've made, I'm still strictly sports, but I'm given the freedom to do other things. So as soon as this pandemic hit, my news director brought me in her office and she said, what we're going to do is we're thinking about switching you over to news as well as you do sports. But if you have a sports story, just let me know 24 hours ahead and then, we'll do what it do. And then to me right there, it became sink or swim. It's one of those do or die challenges where if you want to do what you want to do, you got to, go the extra mile and push to be able to do what you want to do. One analogy that I gave is, it's like one of those things. If you don't know how to swim and
Hmm.
somebody throws you in the water, it's one or two things. You're either gonna learn how to swim really fast or you're gonna drown. So it's
Drowning.
sink or swim situation. And every single day, I've been able to find sports stories, and I've been really blessed for that. And I've done different type of stories, like one story I did was on a virtual wrestling class. Another story that I did was on a girl who had almost lost her life battling some illness last year, and she worked really hard to come back and prepare for the softball season. But obviously, it's been pushed back, so you kind of have to adjust. And for anybody, if there's anybody listening, kind of getting into this field, trying to figure out how you can work from this point, is pictures, videos. I've really had to learn how to story tell with pictures, and really had to find ways into asking my subject to send me content that I can use to create as B-roll and pictures and videos as well.
Okay, and you've been in the industry for some time now. Like, what was one of your weakest links before that's now one of your strongest suits?
Time management, man. Time management and organization. It is a huge, huge thing, and if you give yourself time, you're able to prepare. And I'm pretty sure you'll hear this from everybody. You really have to be able to handle your time well, because on a normal day, I'll have to produce my show.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go to 3 different games, and then I'll have to come back, edit, write, and then take in other people's scripts, get dressed. If I have time, maybe look at those scripts and then go on air, all in one day. And
That's crazy.
you have to be able to manage your day. You have to be like, all right, by this time I have to have this done. By this time I have to have this done. And one thing that I started doing was planning a day ahead. What I used to do was plan the day of, but then I started planning the day ahead. And I'm not just talking about, saying, oh, I'll do this. I'm talking about in detail, planning the day ahead, trying to reach those goals that I have for myself. So time management has been the biggest helpful thing, because with time management comes preparation. And once you're prepared, you're able to perform at the highest level.
Definitely, definitely. So, like, how are you managing your time, your free time now at home? Like, what are you doing?
For me, man, honestly, it's just trying to find ways to improve, and still finding ways to have that social connection with people. I mean, I talk to my friends a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and thank God, I do play. I never used to play Call of Duty like this, but ever since Warzone started, I started playing Modern Warfare, and I play with my friends whenever I can. And then I meditate, I read, I work out, I do a lot of home workouts, I go running, and then just kind of chilling. So it's just trying to make sure I'm still making myself better. And I'm the home working out at home thing. It's one of the tougher things to do, but it's probably one of the biggest feelings of accomplishment, because I'm adjusting. And I think right now it's one of those situations where you're really going to separate the strong from the weak. And if you're really trying to, you have to come out of this quarantine better. You have to
Definitely.
come into this reboot better. There is no normal after this. I've told myself over and over again. And every time I keep on hearing people saying, I can't wait till things get back to normal. Listen, there's not going to be a normal after this. Figure out, how you can improve yourself, how you're going to adjust. And there's a lot of things that people have discovered from this quarantine. People have discovered that it's easier to work from home. You can get more work done from home. You can spend more time with your family. And there's a lot of different things that you can, take away from this that are positive.
What you think about the WNBA and the NFL draft this year? Do you think it was a success?
Yeah, and I commend them for pushing it to start, for pushing it to still continue, because in order to have the having the NFL draft last week was, I think we all enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it was good for the country in general, just to have anything that can kind of bring us together, like the Last Dance. The NFL draft gave us something for the whole weekend to look forward to. We all got to look forward to our teams and cheer for our teams next season. Some trades went down, and it
Hmm.
gave more excitement, and it gave us a clearer picture of what we see in the future. And I think it's important right now to always look forward and understand that the future is bright. And having something like the NFL draft and the WNBA draft, it's painted a lot of good pictures for the future. And that's why I think it was important. And the NBA draft lottery being suspended today, it makes sense, because if you think about it, they still might have an NBA season this year. So how are you going to have an NBA draft and an NBA lottery when you're still planning on having a season? So that's I understand that.
That's right. Me personally, like I like the virtual draft. I like seeing the players at their home with their family. I feel like it's something we should do more often into the future. What you think
Yeah,
about that?
exactly. And that's what they said. The thing about this pandemic is it's opening up a lot of ways of thinking, ways that we can do things different from now on. I think because of this draft, now later on in the future, people who obviously aren't invited to the draft, they're going to have those phones, in their houses, showing their family reactions. Because
Hmm.
before, we never got to see those reactions, all the way in like the other rounds. But now, no matter where you are, they've set it up to be able to be done remotely. And I think a remote draft was great this year. It was great for us as fans. It was great for everyone that was, a part of it as well.
Yeah, definitely good to see like not only like the players but the coaches in that family environment, their settings, see how they actually move.
Yeah, exactly. And then the family reaction altogether. I mean, I think the first like 5 picks, it was kind of like, first couple of picks. And
Yeah.
those guys expected it. But then as it got deeper for the guys who thought their name was going to be called earlier and it wasn't, to just see their reaction in the house with their family, all celebrating together. It was cool. It was cool to see, and it's a different perspective. And that's what this is bringing. You got to look at the positives, and I'm glad we were able to have that for a weekend.
Hmm. Senior year, not just for like colleges, but also in high school. Senior year is a big year. And like, what's some advice that you would give to somebody that's like graduating from college or just graduating from high school, looking to do that next step in life with this pandemic that's going on?
It's a great question, and what I've been doing is I've been listening to some speakers and some people talking about it. Right now, during this time, it's nothing like we've ever experienced before, and
Hmm.
the jobs are out there. The jobs are definitely still out there. But right now, yes, the majority of the hiring has stopped. It's hard to find a job, and especially in our field. But for those that are graduating right now, I think this is a great opportunity for you to take advantage of the technology that we have. What you're doing right now, this conversation, this is still building experience. This is still you working on your interviewing skills. This is still you showing that you're working on your craft. You're creating. We still have opportunities to create. And although you may not be able to get a job right now, I think at this point in time, you start creating content. You start creating things that you can show an employer when they start hiring that, hey,
Hmm.
during this pandemic, I didn't stop. I was still going. I was creating. I was searching. You know, and to have that at your disposal, and to have those type of things that you can show to them and say that even though this pandemic slowed other people's down, this is something that just made me move at a greater velocity in order to accomplish my goals and accomplish my dreams. So I think at this point in time it's really the moment we have to separate yourself. How can you separate yourself from everybody else? Because it's really easy to say, you know what, everybody's chilling, let me chill too for a little bit, and then when everything goes back to normal, I'll get back to work. No, right now you have to separate yourself by getting on it, and when you get on it and you push yourself to separate yourself from the rest, that's really what's gonna give you that opportunity to get that job when you or after your graduation, to show your employer that I did the extra in order to make sure that this isn't slowing me down.
Yeah, I feel like this is also a good test, not just for like seniors in high school or college, basically everybody. Like, it's testing our patience. Like, patience is a virtue. This is very important. You just gotta be patient and see. You may probably have like a job lined up already, but then something happened, like this pandemic. You just gotta just be patient, just keep on moving. Patience is
Yeah,
very important.
and it's interesting because for me, this profession, you sign contracts. I'm pretty sure you understand that. You go contract from every single place. So my contract expires in July.
Mm.
I was ready to start looking for jobs in January, February. So I just finished up my resume reel in February, and I was gonna start looking for work. So as I sent out a couple of applications, and then I was gonna edit my reel a little bit more. Then all of a sudden, this pandemic struck, and no no jobs are. I'm even looking for work. I'm looking to move up. No jobs are currently hiring. They're not looking for people. But at the same time, I understand that, and it's put my job search on a hold as well. And I think it's kind of put everybody on a hold for a couple of months, for those that are looking for work. But at the same time, I've created content that I didn't know I could create. This has stretched me because I'm in that sink or swim situation. And now I have more content that I want to add to my reel that I'm going to be able to show the employer and say, look at this story that I was able to find during a pandemic. Look at this content that I was able to create that was different from anything you've seen before. I've done skits, I've done stories, I've done just about everything you can name, and it's just ways to find creative ways to separate myself. And like you said, it's challenging everyone. I think it's challenging everyone in my profession because the people that have been doing this for so long, one way of you have a game and you do this and then you go to your game, you do your story and then you're done. No, now you have to find new ways to create content. And for people that are so used to working one certain way, this pandemic has stretched them. And it's like you said, it's not stretching people that are students, but it's stretching everybody at the same time.
Definitely. What's your contract by the end? Like, describe the relationships you made with the station you at now.
Uh,
Like, how's everything with that?
it's going well, and I think the biggest relationships that I have is with people in the community. I love the community, and that's who I enjoy being around. And it hurts to not be around them a lot because the kids are great. I cover high school kids, college kids. I've been in professional events, but there's nothing like a community event because they care the most. They care the most about their kids. They care the most about their community, and just being around them. Those are the relationships that you remember. Even my last station, I still have people from that station that remember me. So the relationship that I have at this station with my coworkers, some of them are like my family members, and the community. They're just really welcoming and always encouraging me and giving me compliments on them liking what I put on air. Like, hey man, I really enjoy watching you on TV. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. So those are the relationships that really mean the most.
Well, Scoob, I appreciate you giving me your time, man.
No
I don't know.
problem, man. This is fun. This is fun for sure, man. Ain't nothing like two black men talking and just chopping up some knowledge. And you know, anybody out there listening, trying to get into this profession, talk to me because, man, for me to get to this point, it took a lot, and I understand what it takes. So in order to get here, you got to have a certain mindset, and I'm down to talk about which direction helps to go into there.